Hi, I'm here with this week's vlog. I don't know if you noticed, but I uploaded 4 reviews today. I went on a reading binge this past weekend. I started, I don't know, Friday night, Saturday morning, and I pretty much kept going until Sunday evening, and I read 4 books. I don't know why. I just felt like I needed to sit there and read a lot. And I managed to read, I read the other 2 of the Stud Club trilogy, and I read The Surrender of Miss Fairborn, and The Game and The Governess. Surprisingly, I think this was probably the best one I read the entire weekend. I liked Tessadero a lot, but the story wasn't as interesting, and this one I was really disappointed in. You can watch my reviews and learn more about that. But yeah, that's what I read this week. That's pretty much what I did, is I read a ton. And I'm reading The Duke Next Door by Celeste Bradley right now. I already can tell I really don't like it, but I'm gonna keep reading it so I can do a review on it. She's doing the typical thing that I really don't like, and this is the second book, so it's my own fault for not knowing the backstory of some of these people, but I really hate when you can't just pick up a book in romance novels. Any other series I'm fine with. If like the Game of Thrones books, if you pick up book number 2 and you don't know what's going on, that's your own fault. But in romance novels, typically, you can pick up any book in the series and usually be okay. But this one, I feel like they must have done character development with both of these characters in the previous book, and it really annoys me because they sort of just go into it. I mean, they get married like right away in the book, and it's like it's not completely terrible, so I will trudge along. I think that's one of the reasons for doing these videos is that I have to finish it. Despite the fact that I don't like it, I'm still gonna finish it. And it was like $1 when I got it, so I don't really feel too bad. But it also sucks because I read, most of the books I read this past weekend weren't that bad. Actually, all the books I read this past weekend were better than this thing. But that's okay. I have a ton of romance novels. I don't know if you can see, but both of those bookshelves back there, those are both mine. And like, my husband doesn't have anything on those. Those are both mine, and I've got a ton of books up, like, over there. Plus, I've still got probably 20 books left from that used book haul that I did a couple months ago. I still have a big bag of books sitting by my desk. Most of them are Christina Dodd, and her older stuff is not as good, so I've been procrastinating. But whatever gets books off my shelves, whatever I read, or at least allows me to do videos. But yeah, I'm slowly making up a big pile of books to take to my used bookstore. I want to take probably 15 or 20 when I go next time, because I don't want to, I want to bring home fewer books than I bring back. I am terrible. I will always bring back, I'll take a bunch of books there, but I also bring a bunch of books back because I have no control in the used bookstore. That's why I'm only allowed to go a couple times a year. That's just my own rule. Like, my husband doesn't restrict me. I just have to tell myself I'm not allowed to go there that often. Otherwise, I'll buy a ton. I'm just keeping a list of authors and titles I want to look for while I go there, because that's the easiest thing for me to do. The other thing I've been up to, I think I told you either in my last vlog or vlog before that, or both of them. I finished my first novel, and it's finally been 3 weeks, so I can edit the damn thing. And it's in this binder. It's got a decent amount of pages. I think I printed out 196 pages. It needs to be a lot longer than that. It's got 54,000 words or 56,000 words. It needs to be about 80 to be publishable, but there's a whole bunch of stuff I need to do. Okay, so when you're editing your story, and this is just what I've gathered from, I read a whole bunch of different blogs about it and a bunch of advice from different people. The big thing is, they tell you the first thing at all you have to do is wait. Once you finish it, you have to wait, and 3 weeks was about the acceptable amount of time that most people agreed on. and was the minimum amount of time. I didn't want to wait any longer than that. I'm like, no, I want to get to editing it, but I had to step back. Then the second thing you need to do is print it out. Like, don't just stare on the computer screen because you'll skim. And I am terrible about doing that. I'm terrible about actually sitting there and making sure I read each line if it's on the computer screen. So I made sure I printed it out. I printed it out with double, I put double space on everything so that I had enough room to make corrections. But once you have printed it out, you have to read it, and you can't do editing. You can write notes, but you can't edit, because if you start editing, you're gonna get nowhere fast or nowhere slowly, depending on the way you do it. So I wrote down a whole bunch of notes in my red pen. My handwriting's terrible, by the way, and I wrote a whole bunch of notes. And what I'm doing now is I am just going through and I am writing down some sort of general things in different areas where I might be able to add in my notes, like information for my notes or what to change. But I guess one of the biggest misconceptions or fallacies or whatever that authors run into when you're editing your story, you can't just go in line by line, like start from the beginning and just start editing from, like, just go line by line and edit, because you have to look at your story as a whole. You have to look at the different parts of it as a whole and pick and edit it that way. Edit out the big chunks and rearrange or add more information in. If you have a character that doesn't fit, you need to get rid of them or add more people in or add in the subplot or subtract a subplot or do whatever. And you can't just do that line by line. It doesn't work that way. And I had kind of figured that out before I was reading about it, but when I read more about it, I was thinking, yeah, I really don't want to go line by line, because this needs so much editing. I feel so bad for myself. I feel so, like, angry at myself when I read it again, because I'm thinking, this sounds so bad. Why did I write so bad? Part of it, though, is because I started writing this a couple years ago, and the other part was I got to a point in writing it that I realized, don't worry about how it sounds, just get the information out there, and that's fine, because the main ideas are fine. It's just the way I wrote it. So reading this as trying to think of myself as somebody just reading it and not as the author, but I was like, I need to change a whole lot of stuff. This sucks. So right now I'm just writing down sort of in general where my notes might fit in, and then I'm gonna have to go back to the computer and do the tracking changes and move things around. I realized that I actually want to switch and combine my chapter 2 and my chapter 1 material. I kind of want my chapter 2 material to start first, because it gets you more into the action of it quickly, and I can move in my chapter 1 material in there, because that's not actually going to be that as hard to do as I thought. And then, keep adding more material and do things like that. So yeah, editing's going to take a while. Apparently editing takes longer than actually writing it. Since I wrote this over the course of a few years, I don't think it's going to take that long. I'm going to try to, I've been really good. I've been editing every day, and I'm going to try to be consistent with that, because I need to do it. I need to edit my story. So yeah, that's what I've been working on. I read a whole crap ton of books. I am editing my story. I'm sick. I don't know if you noticed, my voice is a little deeper. I sound a little, probably more nasally. My sinuses are really stuck. I don't even know what it is. We had a bunch of storms come through, and at first I was thinking maybe it was just the pressure, but then it didn't go away. So, and my husband now is kind of sick. So I think it's just maybe a sinus infection or something. It's not really affecting me too much. I feel a little more tired, and I'm really stuffy, but that's about it. I don't know, my voice sounds really deep. I also have been talking a lot. I reviewed 4 books. Oh my god. I mean, I love reading, but I hate having to do this many reviews in a day. Because for one thing, I have to remember what I felt about each. These books weren't that. Romance novels are really easy, though. There's not a whole lot of plot to romance novels. Usually, it's this person and this person fall in love, and stuff happens. That's usually the gist of it. So then it's just remembering, like, the main little points and if I liked it or not. And since I just did this past weekend, it was fine. But I have to do them within a week. I try to anyway, because if I read too much more stuff, because I've already started on a 5th book, I don't want to lose the feeling that I had with those books. So that's always been fun. Yeah, anyway, So that's just what's been going on. Still looking for a job. That has not changed. Yeah. Other than that, I don't know. I'm gonna keep reading more books. I'll probably read more this weekend because I've got a ton of books I want to read. And I'll do more reviews next week. And I will see you then. Alright. Bye.